How's it going, YouTube? It's Elliot here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Elliot Reads video, guys. I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up for the month. I only read 3 books in August, sadly, because it was very busy. Like I said, through the past 2 videos, it's been very busy, so I haven't had a chance to pick up a game or a book very much in this month, but I did manage to read 3, so at least that's something. It's not like I normally read, but like I picked up 3, so that's something, I guess. I'm going to go through them as usual and give my ratings, my opinions, and a little bit of what the stories are about. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, so let's get into the first book that I read for the month of August. Okay guys, the first book I read was Verity by Colleen Hoover. So Verity is about a struggling writer who is a bit down on her luck. She's called Lowen, and she writes books herself, but they haven't been very successful. And she's behind on rent and she's going to get evicted and things, so she needs a paycheck pretty quickly. And then this guy called Jeremy comes to her publishing place and says, I want you to write the rest of my wife's series because she's unable to write it. She's been in a car wreck, so she's not up to the capacity to write the book anymore. But she wants to finish the series, and she thinks that you and her have similar writing styles, so she would like you to finish the book series for her for a very large amount of money for each book. So Lowen's a bit hesitant at first because this is a really popular selling author, and the series is doing really well. So she feels a bit intimidated to accept the offer. But after some persuading, she actually does accept the offer, and Jeremy says that she should come and stay with them for a few days while she gets the notes together that Verity had been writing over the years to complete the rest of the series. Again, she's a bit hesitant because she doesn't know Jeremy and Verity very well. She just finds it weird that he's invited her to stay at the house, but she's like, well, yeah, I guess he's correct because obviously it's going to take a long time to go through all of our notes and find the ones that I need for writing the rest of the series and to get in the mindset of our characters and things, and read the other books in our series so I can get into the mindset of the characters and everything. So she goes and stays at Jeremy and Verity's house. While she's there looking through everything, she finds a manuscript that Verity has written of autobiography on herself, and what she finds in there is pretty disturbing, so it kind of knocks her sick. And she's like, Verity isn't the person that I thought she was. She's pretty messed up in the head. She's a horrible person. As she's staying there, weird stuff starts happening in the house. As more time Jeremy and Lowen spend together, they start to get attracted to each other and start to have an affair behind Verity's back. And then obviously all these weird things start happening, so she's like, I really just want to get all the stuff that I need and get the heck out of this house. But obviously she can't find anything that she needs for the book or anything, so making her stay longer. And then she loses the house that she's staying in, so Jeremy says, well, stay here until the first paycheck hits your bank and then you can leave, which she does, but she's still apprehensive of staying here because of all the weird things that are happening. The twists are crazy. It's really well written. The twists are crazy. What gets me is the way she does. I'm gonna make it spoiler free, so yeah, I won't go into too much detail, but the way she writes this autobiography is just really weird to me. I don't understand why she would write it that way and not destroy it after she had finished it, because it paints her in a really bad light. Obviously Lowen finds it and she's like, bruh, not good. But anyways, yeah, I gave this one 3 stars. Like I said, I just thought it was a weird concept of why she wrote the autobiography, because the main focus was on this autobiography and all the weird stuff happening in the house, what's led up to all this trauma in Verity's and Jeremy's lives. Yeah, it was just a weird exercise because it was given to her by our publisher after she experienced something really traumatic. I don't know why she didn't destroy it, because people are going to find it and have the wrong idea, which obviously Lowen did, and she did have the wrong idea. Didn't anything go wrong, and yeah, that's kind of the reason I gave it a 3-star. So I didn't really understand that part. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It's well worth the read. It was a page turner and it was really well written, and the characters are really cool. Personally, for me, the book is way overhyped because I've seen this all over Book Talk. I've been wanting to read it for a while because it's got really good reviews, but to me, I feel like it was too overhyped. It was a good story, don't get me wrong, but it was way too overhyped, so it only got a 3 star from me, guys. But yeah, first book I read in the month of August. Okay guys, the next one I read was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This is about a famous painter she's married to a famous fashion photographer. One day, randomly when he comes home from a photo shoot, she ties him to a chair, shoots him 5 times in the face, and then she misses one and shoots the ceiling. So 6 shots were fired, but 5 shot the guy and killed him. And then after she kills her husband, she doesn't talk. So she gets obviously sent to a psychiatric unit. This guy called Theo, who is a psychotherapist, he's been wanting to work with Alicia for a long time, but many people have tried and failed to get Alicia to talk, but Theo thinks he can get through to her somehow. He tries all these different methods to try and get her to talk, and when they don't work, he starts going to speak to people who knew Alicia, just family in general. He goes and speaks to family, friends, people who knew her, and tries to get an idea of what could have caused Alicia to actually shoot her husband in the first place, and also why it would get her to stop talking altogether completely. Is it like a trauma thing that's a coping mechanism for trauma, or is there something more to it that is the reason why she's not talking? But eventually the story unravels through Alicia's diary that she gives to Theo, and he starts to get more of a clearer picture of what is actually going on in her head and what led up to Alicia doing what she did. And it also makes him think about his own demons and something related to him that could get him in a lot of trouble. So I won't spoil it, so yeah. But it does combine both Alicia and Theo together, and you'll just have to read the book to figure out what that is. Because it's very, very twisty, guys. The twists are pretty crazy. I didn't expect the twist at the end for it to be what it was. I had my suspicions through the book who I thought was the reason behind Alicia not speaking, but I was totally wrong. It was a really, really interesting book. Really, really bizarre read. It was really interesting. It was a proper page turner. It got you wanting to just carry on reading to find out what was wrong with Alicia and why she just refused to speak after killing her husband, and if she regretted it, or if there was trauma behind the reason she shot her husband. Like, what was the full picture of the story of the reason she shot her husband. And it was really well written, really, really good. I didn't like his other one, which was The Maidens. I think I only gave that 3 stars. But this one I gave 4. I gave this one 4 stars. It was really well written, really, really interesting characters, really interesting story. It keeps you turning the pages like there's no tomorrow. I think I finished this in a day and a bit. But yeah, really, really good story. Give it 4 stars. Highly recommend reading it. But yeah, that's the 3rd book I read for the month of August. Okay guys, the 3rd book I read was The Silent Bride by Shalani Boland. This is about Alice, and she is getting married to a guy called Seth. She's really excited of the days leading up to the wedding. She's really excited about introducing Seth to her family and her friends. But come the wedding day, she walks down the aisle and doesn't recognise Seth at all. She doesn't recognise Seth, and she doesn't recognise Seth's mother and father. So she thinks this is a total stranger, that he's kidnapped Seth and put him somewhere, and this isn't the real Seth. But everybody at the ceremony is like, what are you going on about? This is Seth. Why? What's wrong? Why do you think this isn't Seth? This is literally Seth. This is the guy who you've been wanting to marry for the past 6 months, bruh. What do you mean? But she is adamant that this is not Seth and this is an imposter. Everybody around her is convinced not to go through with the wedding, but she doesn't feel comfortable because she in her mind does not believe this is Seth. She's like, this isn't him. It doesn't look like him. He's different. He sounds different. He looks different and everything. So she runs out the wedding and she's like, no, I can't go through with it. I'm sorry. I have to sort my head out and figure out what the heck is going on and why I don't recognise my own fiance. So after the non-wedding takes place, after that day she runs out on Seth. She tries to unravel what is actually going on in her head, why she can't remember Seth, or if this is the real Seth. She tries to figure it out, in her head, of what's going on. And things start to get more weirder, pictures of her and Seth that she's took over the course of their relationship start to disappear, so she's got no recollection or evidence that her and Seth were even together, pictures of them on vacation and pictures of them first meeting. don't exist anymore. Even though she had them in her phone and on Facebook and everything, they don't exist anymore. She goes to check one day because Seth brings his phone over and he's like, look, this is us together on vacation, first meeting, everything. And then when she goes to compare the pictures she saw on Seth's phone with the pictures that she has on her phone, her Facebook, they're completely gone. So she freaks out even more, and she gets loads of tests done to see if she's got a condition where people's faces become distorted. It's a real condition. I can't remember what the scientific name is. Begins with P, I think. But she gets tested to see if she's got that. All her results come back clear, so she hasn't got it. So she's like, what the heck is it? Why can't I recognise this guy who's meant to be my husband? Like, go to be my husband. But as she is trying to come to terms with what's happening and trying to figure it out, she starts to learn that some of the people around her, who she thought were her friends and close to her, she can't actually trust. And she believes that they're the reason that she couldn't recognise Seth. But as she's getting told all of these things about the people closest to her, and that she can't trust some of the people who are closest to her, she tries to figure out what to believe and if she's actually going crazy or if people around her have actually interfered with her mental state in some way to make her believe that Seth wasn't the real Seth. And it was crazy. I did not expect the twist. It was like 2 twists at the end. I was like, bruh. Like, you thought, like, they'd done like one twist and you thought, oh, okay, then that was a person that caused all this drama. But then it slaps you with another twist and you're like, what? And it's just like, bruh, it's so crazy. I just didn't expect the twist. It was so crazy. Like, I didn't expect it to be what it was. Like, the reason why she didn't know who Seth was, I didn't expect it to be anything like that. Like, I didn't go down that route of thinking to be that, you know what I mean? But you won't know what I mean because you haven't read the book, but if you have read the book then you do know what I mean. But it was just really bizarre, like, of how the twist was. It was just a crazy twist. I was just baffled. My jaw was on the floor. It was a proper page turner. I highly recommend this book. It was such a page turner, dude. Like, I just could not put this book down. I read it in a day. So good. It's not that long. It was really well written though. All the characters brung a really good addition to the story. Like, each one that you got introduced to really brung like something to the story. It was just crazy. So good. Very well written. I've not read anything from this author before, so I will see if they've got any more books because I really enjoyed this one. Really well written. Really well executed with the story and the plot and everything. It was a proper page turner, so it kept me going. Like, I read it in a day, like I said, so I couldn't put this book down. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Highly suggest it. I gave it a 5-star, guys. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favourite one through the 3 that I read in the month of August. That was the 3 books that I read for the month of August. I hope you enjoyed this little video, explain a little bit about them and things. But I'm going to leave this one here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget the smash like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys, for tonight. Welcome to the video.